Salty, so salty, so salty. All you gamers salty.
PC. Let's move on to PC.
Now we're talking.
No, we're not talking.
That's my baby.
So,
PC.
PC conference. The bad.
Start
Okay.
with the bad.
Too many things that were not interesting among very few things that were interesting to me. They had too much filler and not enough quality. In my opinion.
Sure.
I don't like how they do. I don't like how their setup is, where they do the, like, after showing a game, they do like a very long conversation, extremely long conversation / interview. I think a lot of the times that goes way too long. It loses people. They should just, like, show the video, come out, do, if another person needs to be there besides the person that's presenting what they just showed. Just have, I think they should just have, like, let's say Bethesda or whoever it is comes out, the person from that studio should come out and just explain the game a little bit and walk off the stage. And then the announcer, moderator guy should just come out and introduce the next person. They shouldn't interview them. I don't think that's a good format. They stay too long on one thing when they do that. And those are pretty much my negatives, but they're big negatives for PC. That's kind of, they don't have a lot of negatives in terms of the little things, because they kind of stuck to a format, but the things they got wrong, in my opinion, like, it's just bad.
Yeah, and it goes back to, like we were saying earlier, there's an expectation from E3, and, like, we recognize E3 as a conference for gamers. And when you take it away from a focus on gamers and make it more about a focus on conversation, excuse me, I think that kind of takes away. So if I were to score it, if my score were just on the games and the excitement and the announcements and the things about the games, it would have gotten a higher score. But when you factor in, they blocked out a chunk to just talk about and I know that it was sponsored by Intel. I get it, and I'm a fan of Intel. I think we both build with Intel.
Yeah,
I build with Intel.
No, I do. Yeah, no, my PC's Intel. Yeah.
So I build with Intel, and I'm an Intel fan. But when you dedicate a chunk of your E3 conference to talk about your Intel processors, like, I get it from a marketing standpoint, but to me, you're missing, you're preaching to the wrong audience.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think they would have been a lot better if they, had the Intel logo up in the background at the entire time. And then the time where it came to talk about Intel, be like, hey guys, go to this site, watch our new Intel stuff if you're interested. We don't want to shove it in your face. Like, that would actually be good promotion. People would be like, oh, cool. They recognize they don't want to just shove filler stuff and promotion and ads in my face. Let me actually go see what that is, versus the negative, the negative perception of, I'm going to just take up your time here. I know you want to see all this, and you're sponsored by us, so I'm going to show you. It's like one of those, like the get a free vacation, but watch the seminar thing. You know what I mean? Like, we'll show you all these games, but you got to sit through our Intel advertisement here first. So, yeah, that's a good point. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, now, so that we don't get wrapped up in the same thing we're blaming them for talk about the games. Some good stuff.
Little
XCOM 2,
dude.
Little Mountain Blade 2. I don't know if you ever played Mountain Blade. Our brothers were big into it, and they really, really liked it. I know there's a lot of people who do play it and really, really enjoy. It's another one of those games that, again, has a very, very strong feel, and kind of when you log in, it's got some interesting mechanics. It's got a lot of spunk, a lot of personality. So I'm excited to see what they do on the next one.
So I'm giving them props because it was better than last year still. Okay, comparing their conference this year to last year, this one was better.
Sure.
Griftlands, from the makers of Don't Starve Together, looks good. It's a kind of like a sci-fi RPG. That looks looks really good. And I love Don't Starve. I have Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together. I don't think that was free if you had Don't Starve. Anyways, yeah, I like that. That's good. And I also like that Cliff Bleszinski, formerly of the creator of Gears of War, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting the studio right now. Oh goodness. Anyways, they do Unreal Engine.
Who cares about studios?
His new game, Lawbreakers, it actually looks pretty good. I like the fact. So I like him. A lot of people hate him, I think, but I like him. I like the fact that he comes out and he says, "Hey, our game is multiplayer only, so we're gonna do it for $30. We're not giving it for $60."
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like this is not. We're not gonna do that. You know, and when we do a beta, we're not gonna do one of those demo beta things where people they just use it to advertise. No, we're actually gonna do a beta where we're gonna get your feedback and we're gonna improve the game. I like that he comes out and he says that. You know what I mean? Like, obviously he's promoting the game. Of course, he wants to make money. Yes, he's a business. Yes, but he seems very straightforward, and I like that. And honestly, just because of that, I will give his game a shot.
Yeah.
I will give his game a shot because you can tell he's genuine. You know what I mean? Like you can tell he's trying to sell the game, but he's not hiding it from you. He's like, look, man, I am trying to sell the game. We're trying to make money, but I'm also going to be realistic here. It's a multiplayer only game, and I don't want to rip the consumers off. I want to offer a fair market value for this game. So it's not going to be 60, it's going to be 30. And we're going to listen to you. You know, we're going to listen to you. We're going to do an actual beta. We're going to get your feedback, and we're going to improve on the game. And hopefully people buy it. And if they buy it, we're going to keep adding stuff to the game. He's very honest, and he's very likable, and I will give his game a shot for that. And that is a good point for... Those are my only good points for the PC. Yeah, for the PC conference. I am ready to give my score, if you are, but go ahead with your good points. I don't believe you said them.
I think I am.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, we pretty much covered it. They.
Okay.
I mean, they talked about PlayerUnknown on Battleground, but they
Okay.
talked about it at the Microsoft one. So I mean, you can't really take away points. They just this one happened after Microsoft, and then they talked about. But they talked about Sea of Thieves, which we've mentioned. Very excited for.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. I think in that one we actually saw. I think we saw more gameplay. There's an extended gameplay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. Like I said, XCOM 2, Mountain Blade 2. There's Lone Echo or Echo Arena. I believe it was Lone Echo. Now it's Echo Arena. But anyway, it's a VR game where you're in space and all the movement takes place with hands. So you have to like push yourself between platforms and pull. And so it's kind of a cool implementation with VR. To me, I think and I kind of hope that that's setting like an expectation and a norm for different ways to integrate VR into your game. Was cool. It's not just for look, but it's really a lot more tangible, you know, movement oriented. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm excited to see that. One thing that I would count probably as a bad, I don't know. I wasn't excited for it. That I believe the last thing that they announced and that they introduced, I believe it was the last thing, was the Age of Empires Definitive Edition.
Oh yeah, that's bad. That's a bad.
Which to me is like that's your end note. That's not a game that people knew are going to try out. So you're selling to the people who played and would be excited about that, and then who are then going to spend money on a remastered Age of Empires game. There are a good number of people, but to me, that's not an end note. That's not ending on a bang. That's ending on an oh, cool.
Yeah, and I think they kind of trolled everyone because everyone thought it was going to be a brand new one, and it's just a remake.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely a negative for me too.
Yeah, and they did a side by side. Like here's the old,
here's the new
90 graphics, and here's the new. But it's still. So I kind of get it. I mean, there's a StarCraft remastered, and that's cool because I'm a big StarCraft fan. But
yeah, but they also made StarCraft 2 before they made a remaster.
Yeah, there's that. So, yeah. So for me, that was not an end note. That was something worth bringing up in the conference. That was not worth it being
the ending.
Last game.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a negative. So with that being said, I am ready also for scores. Would you want to go first?
I'll go first. My score for the PC conference is a 5.8. Yeah.
Deal.
Yeah.
To my score for the PC conference.
Yeah.
Drumroll. Was going to be a 6.5. For the conference was a 6.5. If we were just doing games, it would have been more like a 7.5.
What? Why? Okay.
But I think because of all of the Intel pushing and all the talk,
gotcha.
talk, right? I think that dropped it down because I mean, even if you're looking at the background right now, the video that you're playing, like it's just them sitting and talking and there's
exactly.
so much talk.
Yeah.
And then you put that side by side with the Microsoft conference.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, here's 40 plus games.
Yeah.
Here are 40. it was amazing. Like,
Yeah.
even if you don't care about the game, the fact that it's back to back to back, like the focus
Yeah.
is on gaming, the focus is not on trying to sell me on all of your products. I would rather get sold to. It's like you were talking about with the other guy who said, listen, we're gonna put it at $30 because that's what we feel is a fair value for the game. Like,
Yeah.
I would rather get sold to from a non-salesperson than sold to from a salesperson.
Yeah,
If I
yeah.
feel like I'm getting a sales pitch, I shut off. And
Yeah.
I feel like this was like back-to-back sale. Not to blame at all the developers who came out and talked. Not
No,
to blame.
and
But
that's
it was the platform that Intel was.
that is a great point to make. You know, when we're going through these scores and we're giving the good and the bad, we are given the bad of the actual conference and the presentation and the overall everything that they did. It's not speaking to the games. The games have an impact, right? If we like a game, it's obviously, and they show new stuff about it, we're going to give more points to them for that conference. But that is because they showed that game that we like at that conference. So it's all tying into the conference itself and not the actual. We're not speaking towards the publisher or the company. It's just a presentation that they did. That is our score for the presentation.
So salty, oh, you gamers salty.